Psychotherapists, what differences have you noticed between men and women among your patients? I was a psychotherapist for people suffering from psychosis and schizophrenia. Does this count? Men more often had delusional ideas about God, like, I am God, or God is talking to me. Women more often were prone to love-related delusions. Michael Jackson is talking to me, I am the Virgin Mary, and I miraculously became pregnant. Disorders related to dissociation were distributed approximately equally from the series. This world is not real. People were replaced by zombies. You are not my mother. I met with a psychotherapist who specialized in intimate issues. She said that if a couple came in, usually she wanted him to read her mind and he wanted to get full instructions. If a single man in his 40s to 50s came in, he simply wanted his tool to work again like when he was 17. I work with foster children aged 2 to 18, providing them with therapeutic support and helping to ensure the stability of their living situation. Until about 9 to 11 years old, gender differences are almost not observed, but in adolescence they become noticeable. Teenage girls more often try to take control of the situation. For example, they refuse to meet with me or ignore communication. Boys of this age, on the contrary, are usually happy about the opportunity to get out of the house. It seems like something interesting to them. At the same time, strangely enough, teenage girls in most cases turn out to be very open. They are glad that someone is finally listening to them. But teenage boys, on the contrary, often try to seize control of the situation. They try to get me out of balance, flirt awkwardly, tell inappropriate jokes, or act rude. In my experience, men open up faster. The first 1 or 2 sessions, they are very reserved, but then suddenly spill everything out. Women, on the contrary, are more open from the very beginning, but tell important details very slowly. Men often sign up for their first appointment with a psychotherapist because their wife or girlfriend pushed them to do it. Much less often do they seek help on their own initiative. I came to the conclusion that men need support and approval for their well-being. Constant criticism undermines their confidence in themselves, and in such a state, it becomes difficult for them to build relationships with their partner. Women, on the other hand, first of all need attention. It's important for them to feel that they are noticed and heard. For them, it's not so crucial to be fully understood. Much more important is the very feeling that they are being listened to. They are usually not satisfied with explanations or justifications. They need their feelings to be acknowledged. If a woman doesn't feel that she is noticed and heard, she doesn't feel loved, and this makes contact with her partner difficult. Honestly speaking, the differences are smaller than they might appear. Men do indeed more often express emotions through anger. They usually have fewer supporting connections, and they are less likely to open up to those close to them about their psycho-emotional state. But all of this is more likely the consequence of social upbringing rather than innate characteristics. Paradoxically, I often notice that men, even more than women, are inclined to idealize love and romantic relationships. My male clients come to therapy expecting solutions, concrete actions, structure, and for me, a woman to speak directly. But over time, we almost always transition to deep psychodynamic work. Lots of conversations, open leading questions, awareness of childhood, Josh relational themes, behavioral patterns, and working through deeper issues that they previously considered unimportant, or that simply no one ever gave them the opportunity to talk about. My female clients, on the other hand, are usually very successful, controlling, perfectionistic, burned out, and try to perform therapy and self-healing in an ideal way, like a project. Over time, we begin working on self-acceptance, working through anger, personal boundaries, actions based on values, self-image, as well as raising awareness about gender roles and capitalism. And not only with emotional analysis, but also with their full experience. I'm doing an internship in psychotherapy. One of the most noticeable differences I see is how anger manifests. Many women I work with feel suppressed anger, which they deny until it explodes outward, or they don't even realize they have a problem with feeling anger. They may also suppress expressions of anger out of fear of being called too sensitive or hysterical. Men, on the other hand, have been taught since childhood that anger is the only acceptable emotion, so they often deny depression, anxiety, and other negative feelings that underlie anger. Or they're so afraid of becoming like other angry men from their environment that they completely forbid themselves from expressing anger. Emotional expression. Men tend to channel most emotions through anger, as it's often the only socially acceptable feeling they've been taught to express. Women, conversely, may suppress anger entirely, fearing labels like hysterical or too sensitive. Communication patterns. Men typically start therapy reserved, but then reveal everything quickly once they open up. Women are more immediately open, but share crucial details gradually over time. Therapy approach. Men often seek concrete solutions and direct instructions, expecting practical fixes. Women frequently desire to be heard and validated, prioritizing emotional acknowledgement over problem solving. Motivations. Men usually enter therapy because someone else, partner, family, push them to go. Women more often seek help independently. Underlying needs. Men require support and approval to maintain confidence, while women need attention and the feeling of being truly listened to and understood.